All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is the brother Hamayam from the Richmond camp here in Virginia. Wanted to present another lesson, but first and foremost, I want to acknowledge my power and give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Next, double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth according to the Bible. Peace, blessings, and safety to the hopeful elect to the Archeum who continue to push this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Want to say Shalom. Also want to acknowledge my elders here in the Richmond camp, the elder Karab and the elder Mattathiah and the brother Arah for teaching me this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this truth of of GMS. I want to say Shalom. So I wanted to present a lesson today titled Our Present Suffering Comes with a Glorified Result if we endure. And so just wanted to bring out a few scriptures that would support the lesson. And so I wanted to start first in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 10 through 12. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 10 through 12. Lord Yahweh Shai speaking in the red letter. Verse 10 says, Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Verse 11 says, Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Verse 12 says, Rejoice, be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. I'll read in the NLT, red letter, Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. Verse 10 says, God bless, Salakia, our power blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Verse 11 says, our power, Yahweh, blessings you when people mock you and persecute you and lie about you and say all sorts of evil things against you because you are my followers. Verse 12 says in the NLT of Matthew 5 says, be happy about it, be very glad, for a great reward awaits you in heaven. And remember, the ancient prophets were persecuted in the same way. And that's right, the ancient prophets were also mocked and ridiculed, talked about falsely as they marched, city through city. Even, was subject to physical attack during that time, as are the current prophets today, and but for them representing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the current prophets and the ancient prophets being the mouthpiece of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, there's a great reward that's in stake, for making your body that living sacrifice for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, for wanting to represent righteousness and not wickedness, So this will come with these are the things that comes with representing our power. I want to also look at the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 12. Okay, so it says the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 12 says in the KJV, yea, and all that will live through power in Yahushua Hamashiach shall suffer persecution. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12 in the NLT says, yes, and everyone who wants to live a power life in Yahushua Hamashiach will suffer persecution. So again, if you want to truly represent Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, you're going to go through persecution. You're going to go through lies, coming from the media, coming from the paper and various outlets. You're going to get, intimidating looks from the people who are steadfast on their religion and their in Christianity and those other beliefs, Roman Catholicism and things of that nature that they stand by, that goes against, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. And that's that persecution that comes with serving our power. Want to also look at the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 10. The book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 10 says in the KJV, but Yahweh our power, that's like I say again, 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 10 in the KJV says, the power of all grace who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Yahushua Mashiach. After that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10 in the NLT. It says, in his kindness, Yahweh power called you to share in his eternal glory by means of Yahushua Mashiach. So after you have suffered a little while, he will restore, support, and strengthen you. And he will place you on firm foundation. That's right, because Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua had to suffer as well. He had to sacrifice his life for the sins of the Israelites. He had to be that example, And so if he were to suffer, we will also have to suffer as well. And, after we have suffered and gone through the trials of this life and the various torments and things coming against us, then we would be, lifted through Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua and established, on a firm foundation, after we have suffered a while. Also want to look at the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4 and verse 17. Book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 17 in the KJV says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and external weight of glory. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 in the NLT. It says, for our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So again, our current afflictions, our current troubles, whether it's, for example, through family, through, generations of issues that have never been resolved and conflicts, or if it's been through, for example, having to deal with a physical ailment of a cancer or diabetes or a type of blindness, or the pollution of the air, with the chemtrails or the water with the fluoride, the food with the forever chemicals, those are just the afflictions that we have to deal with this present time. But if we keep enduring, despite that, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai will uplift us. He will put us beyond these earthly ailments and afflictions, and into that heavenly realm, where we'll no longer be, tormented. We'll no longer be afflicted. I want to also get a meaning for the word suffering. And it says here, the state of physical, mental, emotional pain, distress, or misery. It also says enduring hardships, loss, or injury. Also says, example, chronic pain, grief, hunger, while symptoms include agony, torment, torture, distress, hardships, and woe. So there's a lot of variations of different afflictions that come upon us in this body, in this sinful body that we have, that we inhabit in daily. And so, those are those just definitions of through the word suffering that we have to suffer and that we're currently going through at the moment. I want to also look at the book of Romans chapter 8, verse 18. And it says, Romans chapter 8, verses 8 and 18, KJV says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." This is the book of Romans chapter 8, verses 18 in the NLT. It says, "Yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory we will reveal to us later." And that's right. Our current suffering, although it may seem great, it may seem like it's taken a long time or has consumed the majority of our life cycle, but it won't compare to that glory in heaven. Where we'll have new bodies, where there'll be no more pain, there'll be no more suffering. That'll all be abolished. Through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for our focus on Him, for our commitment in Him, for us investing in Him and not investing into wickedness and not investing into this world. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Shalom.